out, and they wanted to know more about them. That's why we have a second edition.
Okay.
With this edition, we have made some inclusion of what was emitted in the first one. And I think now the people who are using it, they're saying it's very good. They are saying they are getting enough information on what they want. And especially because these booklets are in series. We have 10 of them. Starting from the introduction to organic agriculture. They understand what is organic agriculture. Why organic agriculture? What are the benefits of doing organic agriculture? So we have started with that one. Then we come down to understand the soil, because the soil is the backbone of our farming. And not unless we take care of the soil, so that the soil will take care of the crops, we are doing nothing. We can have very good seeds, but the soil is bad. What will happen? Even with that good seed, the crop will still be, the yields will be still be low. So we need first of all to address the soil, the problem with the soil fertility, how the soil can be able to hold the water. Then we come with the good seeds, we plant, and we get good yields. So that's why I'm saying the second thing we are telling farmer is to understand what is soil, how to feed the soil, how to care for the soil. Then from there, we talk on cropping systems, because many people are told to do single cropping. And in this single cropping, the farms are getting smaller and smaller. The population is increasing. So the subdivision of land has been there. The good agricultural land has been used for building houses, but the population is increasing. Where are this population going to get food from? Yeah, so we have to think of that. So we now tell the farmer, do intensive farming, do intercropping, do multiple cropping. And in that intercropping and multiple cropping, the crops will have a natural crop protection. Why? Crop, they don't feed the same. They don't, the pests, they don't feed the same. We have different pests that feed on different crops. And therefore, when you have planted tomato, maybe we intercrop it with onions. The pests that eat the tomato will not eat the onions. The smell from the tomato can repel the pests that could have come to the tomato plant. So you get two crops at the same time, but they're helping one another. So that's why we are saying cropping system is also another very important thing. And then if you go down to the series of this booklet, the last one is on pest protection, and we have put it to be the last one on purpose. The main thing is not to kill the pests or think of the pests, but we want first of all to address all the other important issues, and then we end up with the pest control. Because if you do production very well, the soil is very well fertile, the crop, the seed variety that you're planting is the right one, then it means that the crop can have the natural pest protection without even being. That's why you see in the forest, nobody takes the fertilizer there, nobody takes pesticide there, but yet the crops do very well. If you clear the forest like now and you plant crops, they will do very well, marvelous. But then after a long time of using the pesticides and then using the fertilizers and what have you, that soil deteriorates. And then it means that the crops will not perform. However fertilizer you add, the performance of the crop will be low. The chemicals you have used, they kill even the important organisms. These important organisms, the moment they are killed, the other hand, the pesticides or the harmful insecticides, they get resistance to the pesticides that you are using. So what happens? We create imbalance. The harmful become more, the beneficial are diminishing. And therefore it means that you need to put more and more chemicals. So here we are. And that is the situation we are. And we are asking ourselves, here we are being told that GM is the way to go. But we are asking the question, if the green revolution was not able to address the problem of the pesticide and the diseases and the crop yields, how is the GM going to be the way to go? Has enough research been done to show that it's the way to go.
Yeah, yes.
Because what we need is not the genetically modified organism, which is already patent, which is against our cultural behaviors of sharing the seeds and what have you, which has gene terminants. You cannot replant those seeds anymore.
Yes.
And yet, there have been grown crops of totally different species that in nature, there is no way that they can produce together. There is no way they can be compatible in nature. Yet, we have not been told whether there can be any repercussion or mutations that come in the future. The way we are told with the Green Revolution, this is the way to go. What happens? The soil becomes acidic. Here we are now with the acidic soils. We need to address the problem of the acidity of the soil. Higher, the pesticides, they have killed our birds. They have killed a lot of beneficial organisms. And the harmful ones are increasing. It means that you need to put a lot of pesticides, which now are becoming the problem to our health. That's why we have a lot of cancers. We have a lot of respiratory diseases. We have a lot of high blood pressures. Even the very young children, they're having the skin problems and many other, just because of the pesticides that we are using. And we are not having any safe use of those pesticides. Not unless very recently that the government has started now addressing about the safe use. But there before, farmers were given the green light to just use the pesticide the way they want. They spray with clothes which are not protecting them. Some of them, they use their hands to stir the pesticides. You can see the harm that the people are going through. So the GM food, the genetically modified organisms, how sure are we that they are not also going to be a problem instead of solving the problem? In fact, organic is the way to solve our problem, our future problem.
And so, Teresa, if you just mentioned we ignore the pesticide, we just mentioned about the corn, GM corn. It's genetically they force the gene, new gene from other object inside, right? Do you think that's safe? Some people say that it's not toxic. If you in your stomach, it will disappear. The tox will disappear. But how do you think? Do you it's safe? Do you believe this kind of option, this kind of opinion? Because our damage will disappear. It will collect the toxic.
To be honest and give my opinion, because this is my honest opinion, I think they are not safe.
Not safe.
I think they are not safe. And why am I saying so? I'm saying so because, as I have said earlier, these are things which are being done in the laboratory. To make two things, to make two organisms which are not compatible in nature to be compatible. And I give an example of the one that they are calling the BT maize. BT maize, If you look at the BT maize, what does it mean? It means that there is a bacteria called bacillus which has been grown together with the maize. In nature, this bacteria and the maize, they cannot grow together. And when they are grown together, why are they grown together? They are grown together to control the stalk borer. Is stalk borer really a big problem for farmers to control? We have so many things that can control the stalk borers. Starting from the natural soil we have been given by God. There is the wood ash, there is the diatomites, there is the pyrethrum, there is the neem, and many other things that can be used, which are more safer than the GM. These two things which are not compatible, they have been made to be one thing, the BT maize. We have not been told if we eat them, if we continue growing them, are there some problems that can occur in nature? Just like the way when we are told to use the fertilizers for the first time, nobody told us that the soils are going to become acidic. But when the soil becomes acidic, that's the time that we are told, okay, fine, we need to add organic matter in the soil, integrate organic matter, that is the manure, the green material, the green manuring, the crop residues integrated with the fertilizers to improve the soil organic matter. But initially, it was just use the fertilizer. And that is how the people were trained. But now, for the GM, it's the same thing that we are asking. How safe are they? Have they looked at the health issues? Can they cause allergies? Can they cause any problems with our lungs, rivers, and other things when we eat them? Can they mutate in nature after being exposed to the air for some time, and that cross-pollination and germination and what have you? All those are things that they are not certain and we have not been told. Second, where the GMs are coming and where our country do export of a lot of our crops, they are totally different. You find that the GMs are coming from one corner, I won't mention the country, while we export to another country, the Europe mostly. That's where we export our crops. Europe is against the GM. Where are we going to take our crops the moment the GMs are introduced in the country? Because it seems that the Europe will not take more of our crops. So that economy of the foreign income, we are going to lose it automatically. So it means that there is a lot than the eyes can see. That needs to be done investigation, that needs to be enlightened, that farmers are supposed to be enlightened and get to know what they are entering into. Second, like the way we always say that you can look at in nature, or if something is good, like when the hybrid were introduced, in fact they were written, even today they are written in very big numbers, hybrid. If it means hybrid 12, 13, hybrid 625, hybrid like that. And people plant knowing that they are planting hybrid seeds. And they're happy about it. What about the GMO? Some of them are being sneaked without labeling. Why? If they are good?
So, Teresa, how many people they feed the farm for living in Kenya? I think there's how many people they are living. A connection about their harvest, their money come from agriculture. How many farmers in Kenya? It's a very huge
Look
number.
at Kenya. I think if you look at the statistics which are in the Ministry of Agriculture and maybe other statistics that you can look, agriculture is the backbone of Kenya. And I think it employs around 75 to 80%.
75 to 80%?
To 80%.
The people...
Here I stand a chance to be corrected, but I think it employs 75 to around 80% of the total employment compared to the other private sector or other sector employment. Like now, agriculture employs the biggest percentage. The others now, if you look at it, it's just about 20 or 15%. Because look at the farming system in Kenya. If you look at the dairy, how many people it's employing. Look at coffee industry, how many people it is employing. Look at coffee, look at tea, look at the vegetables, look at horticultural crops. But if you compare with the people who have been employed in the civil servant, the non-governmental organizations which are there, you can see the balances are different. So agriculture is the highest employer in Kenya.
Yes. Thank you very much. You made a solution for farmers.
Yes.
And that's,
can they be seen? It's very small, but I think stem borer which come from a moth. And the moth, what it does, it just lays eggs on the stem of the plant. And then after it lays the eggs, then and this caterpillar is the one which is destructive, because it eats now the stem, coming to the maize, the cob, up to the time that you're harvesting. By the time you're harvesting, it's to go to to the moth again, which will come again and lay the egg, and then the cycle will continue like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you see, that one is the
Baby like this. You put some soil.
yeah, and that itching will make the insect not to be comfortable. It will try to scratch, and then it.
Have you ever heard the price? I ever heard that the GM, especially Monsanto, very high. The price very high of the seeds. Is it really high? How do you ever touch the
Sure of the price right now.
Yeah.
But I think the GM, the genetically engineered maize,
Yeah.
the price that people will pay will be high.
Would be high.
Ocean or the the pollens to go to your neighbor. If I plant the maize, I didn't want that my maize to be GM, but now because of pollution through the pollination, the open pollinated way the maize they does. Like we have heard from other countries, a good example is India. Will you be charged to pay? I don't. Maize has been polluted by a gene that I'm not willing to have. Would I be paid? I don't know. Second, maybe if I'm using my own open pollinated seeds, if I harvest my seeds, will I be able to replant those seeds of mine and they germinate and they give me the good, the small scale farmers? About those stories, the myth we hear about the GMs, whether they are going to be protected.
Teresa, do you think that because if
the pressure is there, you know, Monsanto, they have used a lot of money, and they want to recoup back the costs, and the recouping back is by selling the seeds. And that's why they are pushing it, regardless of the cost. But they are not telling us the truth. They are not telling us the truth.
Nobody telling you the truth.
There was a time I was in Mombasa, so showground, and one of the government people was an MP by that time. I won't mention, but I remember that person eyed on me.
Eyed on you?
Yeah, he yelled on me. Just because I have, because I had some crops and saying that GMO, it's a big debate, and then we could give an impression of what GM could be, and he was not happy about it, and he was saying, you people, you know that we have spent quite a lot of years, more than 20 years doing this research and what have you. Now you are just giving people myth that you don't want us to progress. Yes, it's true they have used a lot of money. It's true that money has been spent, but then if money has been spent but what is coming out is not for the benefit of the community, why should it be promoted? Yeah, we are not against the GM, but we want to know the safety measures which have been taken. The safety measures which have been taken. We also want to know this is life. And we are talking again and again, it's life. Somebody has patented this life in our nature. Are we allowed to share those seeds?
Yes.
Are we allowed to share?
Yeah, sure.
If I have my maize cross-pollinated by the genes from my neighbor, is there any alarms that are going to be raised? That is what I'm saying time and again, to be looked at. Just before we say yes for the GM.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, and the most important is the health concern. Yeah, are they health for human consumption? Are they health for our animals? Are they health for the environment? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. We only have one Earth.
Yeah. You don't have to. Only one.
No.
It does not have any spare.
Where will move?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
actually to know the model of.
Oh, yeah. Model for this.
Cebu. How do they check from here?
That's another one. Oh, so the model. The small one.
AJPX270. AJPX270. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
OK。这个是中型的，是吧？
这是小型，
小型的。
中型。
它那个有没有？所有的那初中级啊，初中级啊，台湾的 DDT 全部都是用化学的，它这是天然的，对人体没有毒，但是台湾的对人体有毒，所以他们这个东西很多。弄起来，它炼金的时候才一小瓶很贵，它是有毒，那个有毒，但是你喷出来对人体没有。
真的？
他们这个 DDT 这，它是全世界外销这个量是，在其实马库路那边这个初中，这个叫初中，他们在那个花园就开始来提炼，因为他们也是专门在研究这个。西木研究所更大。
Like toxic.
下瓜果。发票了，你我办来学。俺们两边那你见没见？啊，直接说。
Slow down.
Fish.
Fish.
Traffic. Araw ba tiya to siya? No problem, yeah. Very hot, huh? 25. We have soft one. No, we are just here, no problem. Yes.